Hello and welcome. My name is Campbell and this is Spiral Up channel where we talk about everyday things we can use to improve our experience and get more of what we want from life. And today's topic is, are you creating your reality or is someone else creating it for you? Let's get into it. Okay, so who is creating your reality? Is it you or is it somebody else? Because in the end, we all create our reality and we create the circumstances that we find ourselves in. And, whether you believe that everything is energy or not, we can prove that if you walk around the streets smiling at everybody, being polite, being helpful, then you will get a good response. People will be nice back to you. Good things will happen to you. And in the same breath, if you walk around being grumpy, abusing people, calling them names, kicking things, you'll have a bad experience. So this is how we can prove that this is true physically. It's also true mentally, because we know, if you're going to walk around with a sad face, it's because you're sad. Okay, so the physical is just an expression of what's going on inside. The outside is just the manifestation of what happens inside, because everything is created twice. Everything is first created as a thought, as a creation in our mind, an intention, and then it's created outside of us in the physical world. So everything goes from the inside to the outside. But in our society, we have been taught to go the other way. We've been taught that it's the things on the outside that are going to make us full and whole on the inside. And this is a big problem, because people then spend their lives and their energy chasing things that are outside of them. But the thing is, you can't actually ever catch anything that's outside of you, because everything happens inside. Like, your whole experience actually happens inside, if there is an inside, inside your mind. So when we use our eyes to look and we see something, that what we're seeing is not out in front of us. Okay, our eyes are picking up electrical signals, shooting them into our brain, and that picture is formed in our brain. Okay, this is provable. Same with hearing, happens the exact same way. Same with everything. It's basically, we are experiencing everything on the inside, and it's just our 5 physical senses that are giving us the information of what to interpret. Okay, so everything actually, we never actually see outside ourselves. Everything's actually inside ourselves. The whole experience is inside ourselves. So we definitely create our reality. We create the circumstances we end up in. So are you creating your own circumstances by listening to yourself and following your own intention, or are you letting others create your reality by letting them tell you what is true, letting them tell you what you should do, what you should look like, where you should work, how much money you should earn, what clubs you should join, what music you should listen to? Because this is the thing, isn't it? There's so much, social and peer pressure today. And it's not just the people we know, it's the MSN, it's advertising, it's music, it's movies. They are all saying the same thing. They're all pushing us in the same direction. So are you going in that direction? And if that is the direction you truly want to go in, then that is fine, as long as it's a conscious decision. But the reality is that most people go down that road and they don't even realize that other people are making those decisions for them, and they end up, down the road of life, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, suddenly wondering how they got where they were. And how they got where they were is they weren't paying attention to their own thoughts and their own intention, and they let other people make the decisions for their lives. They let other people tell them what to study, what jobs were good. And the problem with this is no one else knows what's right for you. No one else knows what interests you, what turns you on, what gets you excited, what gets you passionate. No one else knows that. They don't really know it. You can tell them, but, most of us aren't 100% truthful with everyone outside of us. And it's just, the society we live in where we grow up to be guarded people, to guard our innermost, thoughts and feelings, because it's not normal to express them in our society, which is sad. I mean, obviously we need balance, but we definitely should be encouraged to be who we are and to put our intentions out there and to let people know what we stand for. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Okay, and this is what's happening. People are falling for the intentions of others. And, the best example of this is television, the mainstream media, the news, because, the majority of the population watch these things. They all get the same message, and they all, come to the same conclusion. They think they come to a conclusion, but they actually are all just told the same thing. So they all believe the same thing. That turns into intention. When you have the majority of the population believing something, they will bring it into manifestation. They will create it. This is how wars happen, because you can't just grab someone and say, oh, the person over on that country, they're bad. We're going to go kill them. You can't do that. It's all to do with, you have to build up, you have to give the population your point of view. You have to tell them why it's a good idea for them to leave their families and loved ones and go and put their lives at risk while trying to kill people that they have never met. So a whole narrative has to be built up around that. And in the past, people have followed that, under the guise of patriotism, and doing it for doing it for your family and the community, and being a man, all these kinds of things. It's a narrative that's given to us. And if we believe it, then we follow it down the road, and we normally end up somewhere we don't want to be. We end up somewhere where someone else wants us to be. And of course, when that happens, people get sad, people get depressed, people, start to sort of wonder, can they get back to where they wanted to be? How did they get here, and how do they get back to where they wanted to be? How do they get back to themselves? What happened? And the truth is, it's easy. It is easy to get back to it. Once you realize you're on the wrong path, you can just change, and you can drop everything, drop the baggage. Why most people don't do that is, again, it's all this social pressure, that we get from everything around us, not just people, but from all, the media and the companies and everything, all saying the same thing, all this pressure. So it makes it hard for people to jump ship, to change their course, to change their life and become someone else, because it's always, oh, but you'll lose this. What about what you've got? You don't want to lose that. You've worked so hard. What are you going to do? People will think you're crazy. All this kind of stuff. The whole, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush kind of mentality, which is basically saying, hold on to what you've got, because you might lose it. Even though you can see something better over there, just hold on to what you've got. Stay there, because at least you've got something. Stay in your little box. Stay suppressed. Don't trust yourself enough to go out and try something. Don't believe that the world is a good place full of wealth and full of abundance and full of amazing experiences. Just keep what you've got, because the world's physical, right? So you got to hold on to what's physical. See, this is the thing. Physical is outside of us. It's what's inside that counts. That's who we are, and that's what drives us, and that's what takes us, to the places where we want to be. That's what brings out our passion. That's what turns us into contributors of this world that make it a better place when we are who we were meant to be. And to do that, we need to follow our own compass, follow our own intention. Of course, we need information. Of course we do. We need perspective and points of view, and as many as we can get, but that's only so that we can make better decisions for ourselves. And that's it. It's all to do with us, with what's inside, because you can't change the world. You can only change yourself. So if someone else is telling you what's good and what is bad for you, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, then they are controlling your life, and they are limiting your experiences, and they are limiting what you offer and what you give to the world. And when this happens, people, it's not a good place to be. People do not like it, and people get despondent, and they do find it hard to get back. And we see this around the world with depression. It's everywhere. But like I said, if you trust yourself, this is all about going inside, because everything is inside. You are inside. Everything comes from the inside out. So go inside and start to ask yourself, what do you believe? What do you stand for? What do you want? What's your passion? What do you want to create? What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to leave behind? How do you want your grandchildren to talk about you, or your nieces and nephews, or other people? Because this is it. We're all here, for a reason, and we're all here to contribute to the whole, because we're all part of the whole. We're all fractals of God. So the message is, make sure that the life you live is yours. Make sure that the decisions you make are yours. And to do this, you need to make sure that the beliefs you have and that the opinions you have of yourself and the world are something that are of your own conclusion, something that you have concluded yourself, decisions you've made yourself based on information you've gotten from the outside, and then run through your own filters and your own ethics. And that way you will know who you are, you'll stand for something, and you'll know what the reason is. And once you have a reason and you know why you stand for something, and you know why you want it and why you believe in it, then you're immovable, then you're powerful. No one can move you, no one can sway you, because you know what you believe in. If someone else has given you a belief, then anyone can come up and sway you, because it's not really your belief. Anyone else can come and talk you into something else, and you end up being this wishy-washy person who's never focused, never directed, and ends up like I said, ends up where other people want them to end up, not where they want to end up. So I think I'm hammering that point home a little bit, but I think this is very important. This is how a lot of people get lost, is just putting too much focus on the outside world and believing way too much that people, events, and circumstances outside of ourselves are better for us than our own beliefs and our own perspectives. So trust yourselves, guys, because there is greatness in there. And once you understand that and you believe it and you stand in that, then you will be able to create whatever reality you want. So thank you for spending some time with me. Please leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and share this content if you enjoy it. And I shall catch you all on the next upload. Bye for now.